everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So today's episode comes to you from Matthew, who's been supporting this channel as a general tier patron. I truly couldn't do this without the support from amazing patrons like Matthew. So again, Matthew, thank you so much. And for the personalized deck tech, Matthew chose Isshin to Heavens as one with Attack Alone Tribal. I absolutely love this deck. I love this build. Let's jump into it. A 3/4 Human Samurai for 3 mana in Mardu. A creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger. It triggers additional time. Basically, attack Harmonicon, doubling up every kind of attack you could imagine, doubling up yours, but also in a sneaky way, again, any permanent that you have that can trigger off opponents attacking can trigger as well. That being said, we're going to be focusing again on Attack Alone Tribal. Basically, hey, one creature to rule them all. We will determine how combat goes with our massive attack, and it's going to again be doubled up by Isshin. So what exactly do I mean by this? What keywords, what things can we take advantage of with this? Well, let's jump into it by talking about the tactics. And if you are interested in this deck, make sure you check out that deck list link in the description below. So, first up in our first tactic, let's talk about single combat. We are going to be forcing the issue in some ways. Well, okay, not exactly single, but pretty close with Crawl Space, an artifact for 3 that says, no more than 2 creatures can attack you each combat. So, again, our plan is to be attacking with just 1 creature. We're just going to be doing that, all right? We're going to focus on that. Our opponents don't have to abide by those rules, unless we kind of force them to. And with this, we are doing so in a way to say, hey, you know what? Maybe you're not single combat, but at the very least, you're attacking with just 2 creatures to us. So either attack elsewhere, or yeah, just bring the tiny little army that you've got at me. Next up, what can really force it though is Silent Arbiter, a 1/5 construct for 4 mana. No more than 1 creature can attack each combat. No more than 1 creature can block each combat. This is exactly what we want. This is the kind of thing that we want to do. Say, you know what? This is the arena we are playing in, all right? 1 at a time. 1 creature attacks, 1 creature blocks. That's it. Single combat rules. That's how we're going to be going with it. Or how about Judun Enforcers? An 8/8 alien Rhino Soldier with trample that costs, well, 7 mana, but we can also suspend it for just 3. And it says, no more than 1 creature can attack you each combat. So again, forcing that issue for our opponents. Again, we're already going to be abiding by those rules, all right? We're going to be saying, hey, you know what? You can't come my way with just more than 1 creature. It's got to be 1 creature, and that's it. And I will come your way in the same way, because that's just how I'm building my deck. That being said as well, here's the thing. This is an 8/8 with trample, and again, we're going to have all these effects that Isshin's going to be doubling up that can make this even more impactful. It can be our solo creature attacker, which can be amazing, and that trample getting that damage through. That being said, Light Minefield, a card that you might not have expected to see here, but another way to potentially, force our opponents into that attacking single mindset. Enchant for 4 mana in white. Whenever 1 or more creatures attack, Light Minefield deals damage to each of those creatures equal to a number of attacking creatures. Basically, hey, when you're swinging, things get hurt based on how many creatures you swing with. So, again, you might have this massive army of all these tiny little tokens. You're like, oh, you can't attack with that. Yeah, sorry, opponents. That's not going to be happening. Basically, swing with less so they get damaged less, essentially, because otherwise you're going to be taking out your own creatures. And again, 1 damage to 1 of our creatures we don't care about. That's amazing for us. Or how about Revenge of Ravens? Again, yet another way to incentivize our opponents to play by single combat rules. Enchant for 4 mana. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, that creature's controller loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. But again, like with Light Minefield, in this, Isshin doubles that up. So again, if opponents are going to be attacking us, they're going to be losing a lot of life, and we gain a lot of life. So yeah, they're probably going to be pretty hesitant to actually do so with a large army or at all. But, of course, we're moving on to tactic number 2, and we've got Exalted, because, again, when you're, attacking alone, when that's what you want to do, Exalted is what you want. A 1/1 human soldier with Exalted for a single white mana. Yeah, Exalted means whenever a creature you control attacks alone, again, what we're going to be doing, that creature gets ++1 until end of turn. But again, thanks to Isshin, that is doubled. So again, it is going to be +2/+2, which is quite the boost on a creature. And of course, we've got 11 more Exalted cards here, so yeah, here we go. We've got Duty Bound Dead. This is a 0/2 skeleton for a single black mana, and we can regenerate it, but most importantly, again, it's got Exalted. The more and more of these we have in play, the more and more pumped our attack alone creature becomes. Again, it could be Isshin if we want Isshin to be doing it, or again, it could be, say, our trampling rhino that we talked about earlier, or one of the other evasive creatures that we have that we're going to be talking about as well. Regardless, if we can get Isshin through, that can be a very easy one-shot KO, but it doesn't have to be. Goblin Champion, a 0-1 with haste and Exalted. So sure, Goblin Champion can be our champion potentially. To swing right away. Cute art, amazing. Yeah, like took out the dragon somehow, or maybe just sleeping, and this goblin just like, look, I don't weigh enough to actually disturb this dragon. Regardless, this is just a single mana. Get it down and pump your attacker. Avon Squire, here we go. A 1-1 bird soldier with flying. It's got Exalted. It just costs 2 mana. Again, this is super simple, and your opponents might not see it as that big of a threat, but here's the thing again. It is evasive. It has that flying, and if they don't have any blockers, at a certain point, this thing can hit incredibly hard. Again, Isshin doubling up those pump effects for us. Knight of Glory, protection from black. Again, if you're playing against a black deck and they don't have any blockers that can block this, then you are just golden going right through. A 2-1 with Exalted, costing 2 mana. On the opposite side, we've got Knight of Infamy, protection from white. So again, playing against a mono-white deck, you are coming through as well. And again, of course, 2-1 with Exalted for 2 mana. How about Sigil Paladin, though? We've got a 2-2 Human Knight with First Strike and Exalted for 2 mana in white. Yeah, we've got quite a bit Exalted. Guardians of Akrasa, if I could say that right. A 0-4 Defender with Exalted. Human Soldier for 3 mana. Now, this one is probably the only creature in the deck that cannot be our attack alone creature, but sure, it's a nice little blocker for us. We need those too, and again, with that Exalted, that's quite nice. How about Angelic Benediction? Not a creature at all, but is an enchantment that does have Exalted. And it says, whenever a creature you control attacks alone, you may tap target creature. A great way to say, okay, I've got enough pump, I've got enough Exalted in play, I've got enough other things that want to trigger, and now when I attack, I can tap 2 creatures thanks to my commander, and that can actually be a good amount to get through on certain players and to finish them off. Merchant of Truth, though, another flyer, another evasive creature, 2-5 Angel Detective. Whenever a non-creature control dies, investigate, and by the way, clues you control have Exalted. So yeah, when our creatures die, now we get extra Exalted triggers thanks to this. Sublime Archangel, though. 4-3 Angel of Flying and Exalted. Other creatures you control have Exalted, and it costs 4 mana. My goodness, this is insane with this commander. Basically, it's like, okay, I already pump, the creature that's attacking alone, but also now all the other creatures you have in play, whether they have Exalted or not, pump them. And if they have Exalted, now they have double Exalted because those do stack. So all of a sudden, again, if you have an Exalted creature, and this gives it Exalted as well, that's +4/+4 on that swing with just that one creature. So, yeah, you can see how this builds on itself in a crazy way. Finally, though, Battle Grace Angel, 4-4 Flyer. Again, yet another evasive creature for 5 mana. Exalted. For creature control attacks alone, it gains lifelink until end of turn. Yeah, that technically does double with Isshin, but double lifelink doesn't really help us, unfortunately. That being said, still an amazing creature for this deck. Evasive, Exalted. What's not to love about that? Moving on to our next tactic, though, we've got Samurai time, because Aki Ronin will show us the way with, hey, you know what, a 1-3 Goblin Samurai for 2 mana. Whenever a Samurai or Warrior you control attacks alone, we discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So again, our commander, or, creature like this one, or some others in the deck as well, get those triggers, and Isshin can double those up for double the value. A Ganju Exemplar, a 2-1 Human Samurai for 2 mana in white. Whenever it, or Samurai or Warrior attacks alone, basically, essentially, +1 till end of turn, so essentially, Exalted for Samurais or Warriors. Selfless Samurai, though, as well. Whenever a Samurai or Warrior you control attacks alone, it gains life until end of turn. Yeah, it technically doubles, but, doesn't really double, but it's fine. We can gain a lot of life with that. That being said, sacrifice on a target creature control gains indestructible until end of turn. So a great way to protect one of our key pieces, including, well, our commander if we need to. Or how about Ryu Storm's Edge? My goodness, here we go. This is where the spice really happens. A 3-3 Human Samurai with First Strike for 4 mana in Boros. Whenever a Samurai or Warrior you control attacks alone, untap its first combat phase of the turn. Additional combat phase after this phase. Yeah, this can be a game-ending play for us, because this can be, hey, Isshin, let's say I've got a way to make you evasive, which I do have some ways to make you evasive. All right, I'll swing, you get through, you hit, you take out a player because you got all those amazing Exalted triggers and other triggers as well. So you did so. Oh, by the way, you attacked alone, so now you get to untap and then do it again and take another player out. So yeah, this can be a game-ending card for us. Now, you might think we're done with our attack alone triggers, but we are not. So next tactic, all alone. We've got Enchantment Aura, Enchant Creature for 2 mana and white. Enchant Creature has, well, hey, you know what? Whenever it attacks alone, it gets +X to turn, where X the number of non-land permanents you control. Yeah, you can see why this gets absolutely insane in absolutely no time. Again, sure, it's not counting the lands, but we got plenty of other permanents in play. And all of a sudden, it's going to be like, oh, yeah, +10. Oh, but wait, double that thanks to Isshin. So, yeah, our commander could make a one-shot KO with this, or just any of our creatures can become a one-shot KO, too. Sigil of Valor, I was going to say, but so good. I mean, it's so good. It's so much valuable for that. Just 6 mana. 6 money. There we go. I'm getting thrown off right now with just how good this is. 6 cents. There we go. Equip for 2. Equip 1 to equip it. Whenever a creature attacks alone, it gets +1 until end of turn for each other creature you control. Again, we do have a go-wide strategy in this where we have a lot of creatures. That being said, we're only attacking with one of them. And that being said, this says, you know what? For the power of all those creatures combined, you get them. So basically kind of like giving all your creatures Exalted anyway. But again, that is doubled thanks to Isshin. Speaking of doubling, though, Duelist Heritage. Whenever one or more creatures attack, you may have target attacking creature gain double strike until end of turn. This is actually a political card as well. Let's just bring that up first. You can incentivize opponents to attack each other by being like, hey, I know you might want to swing at me because, I insulted you before the game or whatever. I said, like, you're playing Tatiova? Who does that? Yeah, sorry about that anyways. That being said, if you attack that other player over there, I'll double strike one of your creatures, and that's going to be more valuable for you. Cool, good, awesome. Now, don't insult other players. That's not a good way to start off the game, number 1. Number 2, it's not nice. Number 3, it's not good for your politics in the game. Number 4, this is an amazing card just to go, oh, okay, my attack alone creature gets double strike. Yeah, hitting twice as hard. Super easy to take players out. Angelic Exaltation, enchant for 4 mana. Whenever creature control attacks alone, +X till have turn X the number of creatures you control. Basically, Sigil of Valor, but just permanently in play as an enchantment. What's not to love about that and doubling that up? Or how about Cypher Amalcy? My apologies. Amalcy? I don't know how to say that name. I did not play this Final Fantasy. Anyways, 3/4 Human Knight for 4 mana in red. Creature control attacks slowly gets double strike until end of turn. Lovely. Amazing. That being said, this deals combination to a player. You may cast target instant source card with mana value 3 less your grave with paying its mana cost. And then you exile it, basically. So, yeah, this could be one of our attackers as well. But, yeah, doubling up for double strike. Lovely. Squall, Seed Mercenary, a 3/4 Human Knight Mercenary for 4 mana. This one says, when our creature control attacks alone, it gains double strike until end of turn. Yet another way to make our creatures hit even harder, of course. Deals combination of player, return target permanent card, may have value 3 or less your grave to the battlefield. That is absolutely lovely. A great way to get things back. So much fun. Speaking of that, Altar of the Goyf, an amazing name. This is a tribal artifact, Lure Goyf for 5 mana. Lure Goyf creature control of trample. Unfortunately, we don't have any of those. That being said, where a creature control attacks alone, it gets +X to up to X is the number of card types of cards in all graveyards, not just your own. Yeah, that can get up pretty quickly to like 5, 6, 7, and then keep in mind that our commander doubles that. Yeah, so again, we're gonna an easy like +10 at a certain point, if not more than that. That being said, finally, well, Derelict Addict and Widow's Walk. Derelict Addict says whenever you unlock it, you draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. Some nice card advantage from that. That being said, whenever creature control attacks alone, +1/+0 gains Death Touch till end of turn. Yeah, Death Touch can be very deadly with this deck as well. Next tactic, though, do that again, because here's the thing. What's deadlier than swinging with one creature? Swinging with one creature twice. Great Train Heist, a great card, very flexible, instant for a single red mana, but it's got spree, so you can add on additional 2 in a red, untap all creature control. If it's your first combat phase, there's your combat phase after this one. If it's your combat phase, I should say. Anyways, basically, they need to, like, shorten that at some point, you know, right? Just basically say, extra combat. Yeah, getting an extra combat is insane. Again, basically can just be a, oh, I took you out. Oh, no, I take you out. Lovely for 4 mana. +2 extra mana, though. You can get +1/+0 in first strike to your creatures. Probably not going to be doing that, but you might. Or an extra red mana. An opponent, whenever a creature control deals combination to that player this turn, you get a tap treasure token. Yeah, probably not doing that as well. Maybe. You might. That being said, what you are going to be doing is extra combat. Fun times, yes. Overpowering attack, though. It says free running for just 3 mana. Untap all creatures you control that attack this turn if it's your main phase or combat phase after this main phase. I mean, again, basically, they just need to find a way to just, like, shorten that to be, like, extra combat, okay? Like, just find a way. I know there's slight differences in these, but, like, find a way to shorten it to make it simpler, okay? Regardless, you can cast this for free. I mean, not free. Free running, I should say, for its free running cost. if essentially you dealt combat damage to a with your commander to a player. So yeah, you can cast it for even cheaper and just go, oh, I took you out. Okay, 3 mana, take another player out. Lovely. Or take everyone out with full throttle all at once. After this main phase, 2 additional combat phases, extra combat plus. There we go. And yeah, essentially untap them as well. So yes, basically for 6 mana, you're saying, let's just end the game, okay? Again, you've got ways to make your Isshin be able to get through. You've got ways to make just an unblockable creature, an evasive creature, essentially, into 40+ power. And all of a sudden, you're like, okay, I swing at you, 2 extra combats, swing at you, you're all gone. Goodbye. How about Scourge of the Throne? Can definitely be a great evasive creature. Can take multiplayers out on its own. 5/5 dragon with flying and dethrone. Whenever it attacks, for the first time each turn, attack the player with the most life or tied for the most life. Untap all attacking creatures, combat phase, basically extra, So essentially with this one, again, it is evasive. You swing, you hit hard, you take a player out, and you swing again, you do it again. There's lots to love about that. Finally, response resurgence. Response, yeah, 5 damage target attacking or blocking creature. Cool, that's nice. That being said, resurgence, extra combat plus first strike and vigilance. Absolutely lovely. Game-ending cards, each of them. But now let's talk about our next tactic. We're going to be talking about removing our opponent's things because, yeah, it can clear a path for us, for our commander, or just, yeah, get rid of their good things so they don't have them. Despark, instant for just 2 mana, exile target permanent mana value 4 or greater. Chaos Warp, a classic. Instant for 3 mana in red. The owner of target permanent shuffles into the library, reveals until they hit a permanent, goes on the battlefield. Basically, hey, get something most likely worse. Generous gift, destroy anything on the battlefield and give them a 3/3 elephant, which does not have much value in Commander. Star Athlete, yet another good attacker for us, a 3/2 with menace, so again, could be unblockable against certain opponents. When attack choose up to 1 target, non-land permanent. Controller may sacrifice if they don't, 5 damage to them. Again, doubling that up can be absolutely amazing thanks to our commander. Or how about Stroke of Midnight? Again, basically like a generous gift, but destroy any non-land permanent, giving them a 1/1 token, instant speed. Lovely. Cleansing Nova, flexible for us, choose 1, get rid of all creatures, or get rid of all artifacts and enchantments, whatever you need to do. Speaking of flexible though, Austere Command, choose 2, artifacts, enchantments, big creatures, small creatures, whatever you need to do. Most of our creatures are tiny, so probably the big creatures. Anyways, a great flexible board wipe that can help us out in a lot of situations. Or how about Fell the Mighty? A great way to clear the path. Destroy all creatures' power greater than target creature's power. Again, before we attack, again, those are attack triggers like the Exalted things. Those are what pump our creatures and make them huge. That being said, before they attack, like, our creatures are super tiny for the most part, right? A lot of them are 1/1s, or Isshin's a 3/3. Go, okay, I'll destroy everything bigger than this. Oh, that destroyed like everything else except for my things. Cool. Now I attack. Now my creature's huge, and it is coming through and is taking you out. Speaking of taking things out, though, Drakuseth is hilarious at that with Isshin, a 7/7 flying dragon for 7 mana. Attacks deals 4 damage to any target, 3 damage to up to 2 other targets, which again gets doubled with Isshin. So basically, I mean, we've got 2 times 4 plus 3 times, 4 as well. So much damage going out there in total. I mean, basically 20 damage spread out across, 6 things. We're going to be taking out so many things, and obviously this is evasive as well, and already is a heavy hitter. It's going to be able to take opponents out in no time. Next up, our next tactic, we're going to be digging down to get to our great cards in this deck. Cathartic Reunion, discard 2 cards, draw 3. Demand Answers, discard 1 card, or sacrifice an artifact to draw 2 at instant speed. Throw Possibility, we're going to be discarding a card to draw 2 cards in speed as well. Knight's Whisper, cost 2, draw 2, lose 2. 1 life for 1 card is a great deal in Commander. So we're also going to be running Painful Truths. Basically, spend our 3 different kinds of mana to cast this card. Draw 3, lose 3. Again, I'll make that deal any day of the week in Commander. You get 40 life. You got to use it, right? Read the Bones. Scry 2, draw 2, lose 2. I think I forgot to mention as well, we have lifelink things in this deck too, so we can gain some life back as well. Big score though, no life here. Discard 1 card, draw 2, make 2 treasures. So it also, temporarily ramps us too, which is quite nice. That being said, Siphon Mine. Hey, opponents! You're going down in card advantage, and I get the card advantage. Everyone else discards a card, and we draw a card for each card discarded this way. Thank you very much. Vanguard the Diplomat, though. Another card that can kind of incentivize opponents to do our single combat thing in a way, and if they don't, we benefit anyways. 2/4 with a lifelink. Whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, well, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you or planeswalkers you control, draw a card. If opponent casts their second spell turn, draw a card. A lot of cards to be drawn with this throughout the game. And again, keep in mind that lifelink might not seem like a big attacker, but with all that Exalted, we can swing, gain a ton of life if we need to. And finally, ramping it up. First up, there's Wayfarer's Bauble. Pay 2, tap, sacrifice, get a basic land into play, tapped. Soul Ring, basically a cheat code in Commander. Cost 1, taps for 2, hyper efficient. Arcane Signet, cost 2, taps for 1 of any of our colors. Boros Signet, cost 2, pay 1 into it, and it taps, and it filters those colors into Boros. Orzhov Signet, exact same thing, but an Orzhov. And Rakdos Signet, you guessed it, exact same thing, but in Rakdos. There you go. Who knew? Anyways, next up, Felwar Stone. Cost 2, taps for probably one of any of our colors, depending on what our opponent's land situation is. Thanks, opponents. Talisman of Conviction. Cost 2, can tap for any colors, or tap for 1 of 2 colors. 1 damage to us, though. This is the Boros colors. Hierarchy, exact same thing, but in Orzhov. And Indulgence, exact same thing, but in Rakdos. Just to highlight a few incredible lands. First up, Escape Tunnel. Basically an Evolving Wilds, but with the well-added benefit of, instead of actually getting a land with it, we can go tap, sacrifice it, target creature power 2 less can be blocked this turn. Again, being able to activate this and go, okay, my tiny little creature can't be blocked. Opponent's like, oh, that's okay. And then you swing and you get all those attack triggers and they're doubled. And all of a sudden that tiny little creature, which was 2 power or less, now attacks for like 40. Opponents are going to be gone. Or how about even with our commander with something like Access Tunnel? Isshin has 3 power. Pay 3, tap, target creature power 3 or less, can't be blocked this turn. This is game ending. This tiny little land, this 25-cent land is game ending. Just going, okay, commander's unblockable. Okay, attack. All these pump effects, you're gone. Goodbye. Or how about Rogue's Passage? Anything is unblockable. Pay 4, tap, target creature can't be blocked this turn. Doesn't matter how big its power is. Again, we can just get through, and we've got plenty of ways to get through, plenty of creatures that are evasive, but this one says, you know what? No, there is no blocking happening. This, plus some extra combats, equals just game over for everyone. And with that, this episode is come to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on it, and of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.